next month is going to be on aquaponics and aeroponics. If you want to save over 90% of your water usage in the garden and grow organic vegetables, you can do it with aquaponics, aeroponics, and I'm going to just tear it apart. I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. We're setting them up in schools, we're setting them up in restaurants, we're setting them up in people's places of residence, so it's a really cool thing. Has anybody heard of GMOs? Okay, yeah, how do you know the food that you're consuming is GMO or not? You don't, because there's no laws. Interesting story. 4 years ago, the last elections, somebody had, or there was an initiative on the ballot to label GMOs. Okay, and I wasn't real familiar with GMOs. I go, GMO, okay, OMG, I've heard of OMG. And so the California initiative, Monsanto poured their war chest, millions, tens of millions to get it overturned. So we started getting flooded with phone calls, people wanting to grow their own organic gardens. And so we went ahead and we installed them, and then a few months later we get the calls and people are freaking out and saying, OMG, the water prices have just gone through the sky high. So we figured out ways, and so over here to my left, there's a micro farm, I call it. There are a bunch of aeroponic gardens that actually recycle and reuse the same water over and over again. Save over 90% water. So my meeting next month. I do want to say that there's where does water come from? Okay, I just want to address that just for a minute. Water, if you don't know, water comes to Southern California. I read a statistic, it's about 1.5 billion gallons a day are imported into Southern California for our water needs. What's interesting is that water, if you look at the California map, you know, California is a long state. It's, you know, up here by Oregon and it goes down. Well, it'd be great if the state would, you know, if gravity could pull water down, you know, but it isn't. It's flat. So our water actually goes over mountains, the Tehachapi Mountains. It's incredible. About 20% of the energy that's consumed in our society, the electrical is to power the pumps that bring water into Southern California. It's just amazing how much energy. So if you waste water, you also waste the energy. So my point being that we really need to make the best use of our water, and sometimes there are, you know, there's a need for change. So Metropolitan Water District is this huge organization. They're the wholesaler that arranges for water to be brought down, and then they sell it to smaller water agencies. For example, our water agency is West Basin Water District, and there's also an organization called the Water Replenishment District, WRD. Look them up on Facebook. I would suggest you look them up. And there's somebody who actually knows a ton about it. Jim Kennedy, he's next to Carol Palm back here. I'd love for you to, yeah, thanks, Jed. Love for you to talk to him because he's got a lot of information. I think we have between him and Carol, we've got a lot of, I mean, we know where your water comes from. Somebody asked me a question. They made a statement that I've got, you know, these water machines, and this water machine, it's like magic. You drink it, and boy, it'll cure just about everything. Well, if you knew how many millions of dollars that Metropolitan Water District spends on cleaning their water, I would say that our tap water is cleaner than 99.99% of the world. In fact, I would say it's cleaner than bottled water. And at least bottled water, I read about Nestle's, how they're still sucking water out of our mountains. We're paying more for water, and they're sucking it out and selling it to us. So don't get me started on that. Also, too, if you're going to do garden stuff, we have Louis who works with me. He's over here in the back. Louis, great source of information. He's also a certified arborist. So mingle with us. And if you're going to do drip irrigation, if you want to